So, I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, for instance, the Playboy Mansion, for instance. Actually, believe it or not, like I say, my construction company actually built the Playboy Mansion. Um, I wanted a rock and some caves and some other things and to look really nice and pretty and all that other stuff. Like I say, Hugh Hefner is actually paralyzed. Some people said that he wasn't paralyzed and somebody may have made it more or less permanent at some point in time. I'm not exactly sure. Allegations of rape, allegations of wild sex did befall basically Hugh Hefner, pretty much. And it turned out Hugh Hefner was actually an alias. And it was some guy that lived inside the house that was in a wheelchair, more or less. Like I said, the person that you know as Hugh Hefner walking and talking around is not the real Hugh Hefner, nor has anything to do with Playboy or anything else. So sorry about that, but yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of things about this world that basically, it's all lies. It's all a bunch of lies. Anyway, at some point in time, drugs and basically wiretaps and pretty much interrogations and also lie detector tests and basically some people got down to the bottom of things, you might say. And basically, Hugh Hefner was actually just some guy that claimed to be paralyzed from the war or something. I'm not exactly sure, but pretty much he was basically paralyzed in a wheelchair and went around taking photographs of gorgeous women that felt safe around him. Anyway, at first he may or may not have been paralyzed, but after after a while he became permanently paralyzed. Um, like I say, women, you can't go around raping women. It doesn't work out. So anyway, I'm not exactly sure exactly what happened to Hugh Hefner, but he was just a guy who found out about a bank account or knew about a house with a trust. Like I said, there are many houses that were around that actually had basically bank accounts attached to them, pretty much. They were my properties. Like I said, Germans use them, and also other people. Like I said, if you say you are Hugh Hefner and you are walking around, you are not the real Hugh Hefner. I don't know who you are, but well, you know. Anyway, Hugh Hefner was paralyzed. Anyway, many people thought that Hugh Hefner was this guy that's walking around and talking and basically living in the Hefner house. But Hefner is basically just an alias. And basically there were a bunch of girls living there or whatever. It might have been a convent at one point in time of gorgeous women, basically. I'm not exactly sure. But pretty much some paralyzed guy went to go live there and was living there with them and taking pictures of them, basically. And I allowed for a magazine to be printed, basically known as the Playboy or whatever. Basically, actually, I think the Playboy was pretty much, or the bunny thing, that was basically something I wanted done, pretty much, at some point in time, basically. And they were around, I don't know, I just thought it was cute at the time. So anyway, like I say, there are many things about this world that, I mean, lots of people around the world would be like going, huh, what? And other people in this world would be like, no, don't let them know. It's like, well, here's the thing. Anyway, the actual owner of the Smut magazine, and this came out in the 1960s or whatever, he was paralyzed. Anyway, and there was some other guy that was actually pretending to be Hugh Hefner or attached to whatever, attached to Playboy. There were about 5 or 6. Like I said, identity theft and basically running around with a camera saying that you're Playboy or someone. There were lots of people basically running around with cameras saying that they were this or saying that they were that. And none of it was true. Not even a little bit. There are people living inside of big mansions that said, yep, I owned it all my life. My grandmother, my uncle, my second cousin, and my third nephew, we all live here, yeah. And it's like, yeah, right. You're so full of shit. Anyway, there were lots of things that came out in the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s, basically like how Hugh Hefner was just an alias. Like, what is a Hugh Hefner anyway? And pretty much was a guy that was paralyzed in a wheelchair that used to take pictures of naked girls because that's about all he could do. Anyway, at some point in time, it's possible that I helped him or allowed for him to have a child because that was his one wish in life, I think. I think his one wish was to have a beautiful daughter that he could hold on his lap and love, pretty much. and I may have allowed that or helped that to happen, basically. Like I said, I was a very powerful person. I had basically had Germany behind me, and even had America. Like like I say, at one point in time, um, they would do cartoons of basically who of my alter ego Lucifer Star, basically, basically with two with two ropes pulling countries behind me, basically, because pretty much, I basically, I was changing things, doing things, and basically affecting the world around you, and dragging the people in these countries along with me, because because basically, Star. My name was just Star, and then it was Lucifer, and I added Lucifer, and basically, well, yeah, I mean, political, there's lots of people that don't let you say bad things about them. Like there's lots of people in the existence and in the world that if you called them crazy, they would go over there and they would kill you, and that's basically how they do things. Like I said, there are some very nasty people in this world, and they have guns, and sometimes they take offense to what people say, and that gets them killed. Yeah, I'm about the only person that could actually say whatever I wanted and actually maybe not die. Like I said, because I am the creator of humanity. And I had exoskeletons and 1.5s and even some dinosaurs behind me at one point in time. Like I said, even dinosaurs, me and the 1.5s created them. So anyway, like I say, there's lots of things in this universe, in existence, and lots of things to do with planet Earth and everything else, endoskeletons, exoskeletons, and even the female body type that, like I say, Rodney and a bunch of other people wanted to make females the way they wanted them to look, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. They're gonna look the way I want them to look because I created them. And I was about the only one who could actually touch back onto myself or onto my other life forms to make my life forms any way I wanted. Besides, technically, planet Earth was mine, and that was very much verified. So therefore, I could make the life forms here on Earth any way I wanted. So anyway, whatever. And it all had to do with existence. The existence of millions of other planets and everything else. Anyway, whatever. Like I say, all this stuff and all this information as all these palaces or all these, all my old train stations. Like I say, the Winter Palace isn't really a palace. It was a train station. And probably a smeltery and stuff like that. You can even see how the trains used to fit right inside of those little alcoves. Those alcoves are the same size as trains. That's why there were lots of walls with little alcoves cut in them. And people would wonder, what is that for, a gate? It's like, no, no, no. The old 223 used to run through there. It's like, yeah. Trains have to go through walls too. So anyway, so those walls would be lacking in certain spots, and there might have even been gates there where the engineer had a lock, and he would open up the lock and go through. Anyway, and those walls might have been guarded at one point in time. Anyway, though, lots of things would happen and lots of things around on this planet, which you will be like, huh? What? Eh? Ah? Like, who built Germany? Who ordered Germany to be rebuilt? Who asked for China or Russia to sweep down and into Germany to investigate what was going on in Germany? Why did they sweep down? Like I said, you'd have to ask somebody named Stalin or a bunch of people in Russia or something like that. And probably some other people. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, Kennedy was very pervasive. There were lots of other people that were pervasive as well, but none were quite so much as basically me, Lusifer Star, owner of the Titanic, owner of all the trains, LS trains. LS. Remember the name, remember the letters, and then look at the photographs. Think I'm crazy. Who do you think designed the Titanic? And the triple expansion steam engines? Well, it was me. I did. So, anyway, yes, and it was a very big bet on my part as to whether or not they would actually work. Many people said the ship will never move, it's too heavy. Nonsense, I said. Just need bigger engines. So anyway. And it worked. 600 foot long, 900 foot long, great big massive ships moving through the ocean was possible. So anyway, good luck with all that, Hugh Hefner, wherever you are, and all that other stuff. Anyway, whatever. Star printing presses. Those were my printing presses. Anyway, yes. Anyway, it's where everything was done. Star printing presses. Star this, star that, Lusifer Star. Yeah, my companies would live on without me and live on in existence. And lots of things would happen. And lots of people would go around the world and do stuff.